If they're true, that's who you are. That is you. That ideal is you. So you have to chase those things. You don't have to become someone else. You don't have to look at someone else and say, oh, they've got everything that I need to get what I want. No. It doesn't make sense to go half-assed. Go all in with your training. Go as hard as you can. Go all in with your diet and see what you can create. All right, so in this video, we're going to go over different lessons and conclusions I came to in 2021 that will help me personally do better in 2022. And if it'll help me, I'm sure it'll help you. This isn't my knowledge. This is stuff I've read, stuff I've learned from other people, and some things I figured out on my own. So hopefully these 23 lessons that I'm going to go through will help you do better in 2022 than you did in 2021. And the purpose of a year is essentially to figure out how to make the next one better. If we break our lives into 365 days a year, different segments like that, then our year should be spent figuring out how to make the next one better, and then the next one better. And that's compound interest, essentially. You're compounding and stacking your knowledge, your wisdom, how you operate on top of each other so that you end up being someone exceptional. So we'll get right into the lessons. Hopefully these help you out a lot. If they do, please subscribe to the channel and like the video. So one conclusion I came to, or one little thing I figured out, was that your dreams, these ambitions you have, that is who you are. That's your soul telling you what to pursue. We too often view them as wishes, as unrealistic things that we shouldn't really pursue because of the difficulty attached to pursuing them. But those dreams and ambitions, if they're true, if they're not a product of society, of what your parents are telling you to do and so forth, if they're true, that's who you are. That is you. That ideal is you. So you have to chase those things to fully realize your true potential. And Jordan Peterson talks about a lot. Truest expression of why you're here is striving for those things that you want. Again, if they're true, if they're good, if they're truly in line with who you are. And the bigger the better, I think. If you're blessed with great dreams, follow them. Another one I kind of thought about and I'm trying to apply is think about what would your potential do. So we live a lot of the times in a degraded state based on who we've been, based on what we've done, based on what others tell us we are. But if you can think about your potential, which is the guy who's going to achieve those dreams in the future, but also in the present, it's the guy that does the right thing or does the best thing every single time. So if you think about what you're supposed to do right now, I'm supposed to film a video right now because I have that on the list of to-do things. That's what my potential would do. My self that doesn't like filming videos would just push it off until, it's too late to film a video about 2022. So always think, what would your potential do, and then do that thing. Typically, your potential will always do the thing that you set out to do, that you told yourself to do. And the worst version of yourself is trying to push it off and trying to make you think that it's not that important to do. Another one that I came across from Nassim Taleb's The Black Swan, which I'll be doing a video about soon as well, is open yourself up to serendipitous encounters, i.e. go to parties. This isn't clubs, not raves, not somewhere where you can't converse with other people, but dinner parties. I'm not a guy who goes to parties that often. Don't really happen that often in my circle of friends. Normally it's the buddies, the pals getting out for poker night or beers or whatever. But I want to do that more because it opens you up to serendipitous encounters. So you're doing the work in your life. You have the discipline, you have whatever. What you need is some lucky encounters. And lucky encounters can provide you an idea for a business, an idea for a product, an idea for an investment, a business relationship, a wife. These serendipitous encounters that you want to open yourself up to, they can provide you with these lucky instances that you need in life to achieve the best thing you could possibly achieve in life. And that is the benefit of living in cities. I've always liked living in the country, but I live in a city now. I moved closer to the city, and it does open you up to more serendipitous encounters, even little conversations where you'll get an idea from someone that you wouldn't have had otherwise. And so that is something that I'm carrying into 2022. Opening myself up to more serendipitous encounters. So this is a simple one. We all know it, but you got to really watch yourself with this. Comparison is the thief of joy, but also productivity. When you're constantly comparing yourself to what someone else has achieved or done, you're removing yourself from the present You are getting out of the mode of creation, the mode of flow where you create at your best. So just, completely remove comparison in all forms away from your life. It makes no sense. You're in your own lane. Make the best out of your own lane. Never compare your life with someone else's. Next one, and this is one of my favorites, aggression is the antidote to fear. Sometimes we don't recognize we're fearful. We see it as anxiety or stress, but that's just fear. And the best way to combat fear, especially the fear of grand goals that kind of make you uneasy, is to get after it, move with aggression, and attack them. Don't let fear keep you living small. Don't let fear get in the way of adventures, of travel, of anything. If you feel a fear, move toward it with aggression. Don't run from fear. Opportunities are rare. If you come across one, seize it and go all in. So you can think about this with investing. The best investors will go big on a few great investments. They're not making tons and tons of decisions. They're just making a few decisions. They're going big. That applies to everything in life. If an opportunity comes, they aren't that frequent, so seize it and go big with it. Just be aware of opportunities. Don't brush them off and don't miss out on them. Next one is never dabble, be in or out. That's just with anything you do. Do the single thing you're doing right now to the best of your ability. Don't spread your attention thin. Go all in or don't go at all. With business, go all in. With training, go all in. Even with diet and things like that, it doesn't make sense to go half-assed. Go all in with your training. Go as hard as you can. Go all in with your diet and see what you can create. Same with work, obviously, as well, but go all in, never dabble. Next is life isn't short. It's actually the correct amount of time, but it seems short because we waste so much of our lives doing mediocre things and rarely improving. Humans are not meant for monotony, I don't think. I think we need adventure, we need variety. So add those things into your life to live a full life. Time passes incredibly quickly. It feels like life is too short, but that's what life is. Life is whatever, 30, 40, 50, 100 years. You don't know what it is, but whatever the time is, it's the right amount of time. That's how long you're supposed to live here. So you have to make the most of it by doing the things that your soul's begging you to do, by doing the work, by going on the trips, by embarking on the adventures. Otherwise, life will seem like it's too short because every day seemed like the previous one, and your life just seems like it whizzes by without any, great memories in there. It's just, you watch a TV show at 7 or 8 or whatever. You do the same things every day. That's not how we're supposed to live. Get out and get some variety. I'm talking to myself about that as well. So next is if you choose to play a game, win the game. Games aren't sports. They're not board games. We're talking about different kinds of games, like the wealth game, the health game, the marriage game. These kind of games that you choose to play, you can only rid yourself of them when you win them. So if you're trying to get rich, go all in and really try to get rich. If you want to get married, be the best husband you can possibly be and choose the right wife. If you were trying to be a great dad, be the greatest dad you can be. Really figure these things out. Spend time figuring out how to win these games. And that's how you free yourself from them, because winning them won't bring added happiness. Happiness exists whether you're doing great or horrible or whatever. It can't be dependent on a thing or else it's not real happiness. But when you win those games, you free yourself from them and you just focus on other areas of your life that you want to focus on and you want to enjoy. So choose what games you want to play and win those games. Part of winning the games is determining what victory is. If you're trying to get rich and what year one it's make $1 million, that's not that rich. Next time it's 5 million, that's not that rich. You keep on, really think about what the number is. Make that and be free of it. Next is life is a series of sprints. It's not a marathon. You go really, really hard for short bursts, then you relax, recuperate, learn, take a vacation, whatever, and then go really, really, really hard again in spurts. This idea that you should work 16-hour days, 7 days a week, all the time, I don't think that's the best way to go about it. I'm talking to myself as well with this. I think you need intermittent breaks and moments where you replenish yourself, but you do have to do the work, and it is a sprint. You're not working a few hours a day. When the work's there, when there's stuff to do, you get it done as fast as possible. Next lesson is inversion or via negativa. Figure out how to not get what you don't want and do those things, or figure out how to get what you don't want and don't do those things. So basically figuring out how to get the negative of the positive that you're actually seeking. So we always, like, it's more difficult to figure out how to get rich than it is to figure out how not to be poor. So you can figure out how not to be poor, and that sets you with a good baseline of the upside. You can figure out how not to be fat. You can figure out how, not to be weak. You can figure these things out and just do the opposite. That's a great way to solve problems, and that's something that I've read from Charlie Munger and Nassim Taleb and other smart people. So I touched about this a bit. The desires we have won't bring us happiness when we get them. That's not how it works. You could spend your whole life trying to make $1 billion. You get the $1 billion, you're not going to be happier than when you had 50 million or a million or whatever. Even, your spouse, you get a lady, you're not going to be happier than you were when you were single. That said, still pursue those things, but understand and detach this pinning of happiness on them. Pursue them because that's what you want in life, but don't think that you have to have them to be happy. You can figure out happiness without having these things. So this goes with the first point, I think, but those big dreams and desires are God's insights into who you're supposed to be. Your soul telling you what to pursue. It's along the lines of your ambitions are your soul telling you who to be. So these things you've got to take seriously. You've got to, think grandly, think big, and understand that if these dreams are who you're supposed to be, then they are who you are. You have the ability, you have the wherewithal to learn the skills, to solve the puzzles, to get what you want. You don't have to become someone else. You don't have to look at someone else and say, oh, they've got everything that I need to get what I want. No. You've got these dreams and desires, so you have everything you need, because they wouldn't be put there if they were supposed to be given to someone else. You've got these dreams and desires because they're who you are supposed to be. That means that you have what you need to get these things. Simple enough. You don't have to lack confidence. You don't have to, get down on yourself and, I don't have this, that, and everything else. You've got it. Now you just have to figure it out. So treat these dreams very seriously, but understand that you wouldn't have them if they were meant for someone else. You don't have to change. You have to evolve. You have to learn more, but you have the capacity to get what you want, get what your ambitions are, and you've got to get after them. Next is cheap dopamine is the modern devil. Heard that from Naval Ravikant. So we have the ability now to basically fulfill any desire we want. There's porn, there's food on demand, there's TV, there's any kind of entertainment that can be quick and readily accessed. But should we pursue these immediate desires? I don't think so. I think there's a comfort crisis, especially in the West. We're too comfortable. We don't think long term, we think short term. Think with a little head, not with a big head. And you can get in this trap of pursuing cheap dopamine or quick dopamine, and before you know it, it's consumed your life, and you don't have the ability to pursue the long-term things that will really make your life better. So just be careful. Cheap dopamine is the modern devil. Next is a question, more of an answer or conclusion. Should men be happy or great? Is happiness something we should pursue? I don't think happiness is something you should pursue anyway. Read Anthony DeMello. He's got some great stuff on happiness. Happiness, you have the capacity for happiness regardless of where you are in life, but I do think men should try to be great. That has nothing to do with happiness. So maybe there's an answer in there, but you should, really try to aim high and end your life much better than when you started. Happiness isn't something that you should be consumed by because it exists without the things you need or you think you need to have it, if that makes sense. Next is take time to reflect and celebrate on your victories. So I've got something where I'll do something or buy something if I hit a mark or if I reach a goal. That's something that I implemented last year. I'm carrying it over to this year. I think it's super valuable. Celebrate the things that you achieve. It makes life more fun. It makes you want to achieve them more. We get stuck in I get this, okay, then I want to get that, then I want to get that, without really sitting down and being like, okay, wow, I actually did that. So start celebrating the little victories even that you do, like having a perfect day where you did all your tasks. Celebrate it. And for the bigger goals, book a trip, whatever. Do something big and celebrate these victories, because that's what life's all about. So silence and solitude can be a great gift, but most waste it on wishing they didn't have silence and solitude. Silence is and solitude is where greatness is made. That's where you can get all your reading done, your learning done, your studying done, your work done. So if you have silence and solitude, don't wish for people being around. Use the silence and solitude because it won't be there forever. Take advantage of that opportunity. If you don't take time to reflect on why things are or why things happened, you won't learn the lessons that you need to learn to improve. Simple lesson is take the time needed for proper reflection. Get a pen and a pad out, write your thoughts down, and really figure out these issues that have happened in your life, why they've happened. Don't attach unnecessary meaning to them, but figure out why they happen so you can solve these little problems in your life. Do this daily, quarterly, whatever, but spend time and reflect. It's a valuable thing to reflect. Next is a simple realization that hard work doesn't make you rich, but you can work your way into a position where a few decisions will make you rich. So a lot of times you'll have to do the hard work to get to a place where you have enough money where a few decisions can make you a lot more money. So it's not that hard work is bad, it's that you do the hard work to get to the point where you don't need to do the hard work to get to the next level. Simple lesson. So everything in life is the result of compound interest. Everything good and everything bad. You get very fat, one Twinkie at a time. You get very rich, one smart investment at a time. You get very disciplined, one correct decision at a time. And over time, as you stack these good decisions on top of each other, you become a great man. Compound interest is everything. So don't think you're going to get everything really quickly, but understand that momentum is a real thing. We see it in the markets. We see it in personal development. Be in it for the long haul and use that force of compound interest for your benefit, not for your destruction. Next is just a simple one that I've seen. Too many people commit their lives to battles not worth fighting. They think that they're fighting a battle that will somehow make their lives better. You see this with wokeness and social justice stuff. These people are the biggest losers on the planet, and yet they're trying to change other people. Their house is a mess. Their finances are a mess. They look like a mess. This is just an easy example. So rather than taking care of themselves and improving themselves, showing that they can make a change, they try to tell other people how to live. So that's a battle that's not worth fighting. Work on yourself, improve yourself, and that makes the world a far better place than trying to tell other people how to live. Next is much of my own beliefs happened accidentally, and you got to watch that. So you go back and think about your different beliefs, and are they true? Should you hold on to them or should you let them go? Did they happen from on purpose, from learning, or did they happen accidentally by information being put into your head that you don't really need there? Just something to think about. Finally, discipline is one of the most important things you can possibly have, and discipline is doing the things you don't like to do, but doing them like you love them. If you can create that mindset, you're gonna have a wildly successful 2022. Try to develop discipline and use compound interest to your benefit. That's the video. I hope you liked it. If you did, please subscribe to the channel and give us a thumbs up on the video. I'll talk to you real soon with another video.